it was his beef was mine. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if I would see Jay-Z, even if P wasn't dead, I would feel like I got beef with Jay-Z.
In which they asked if I like Jay-Z. No, he's a boy. He talking and don't live it, I said. I elaborated for the source. Jay-Z has a quote in his song, Money Cash Ho, where he claims, New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. I'm trying to restore the feelings. But Jay was nowhere to be found when that drama popped off between Mobb Deep, Dog Pound, Tupac, and Biggie.
I think they're great. I think Prodigy at one time was, one of the best rappers in the game. I don't know about ever, but I mean, in the game, at one point he was up there. He was close to being the best rapper. For a period of time, he was close to being the best rapper in the game.
Havoc, who was one half of the iconic Mobb Deep duo, has been spilling some new info about Prodigy's legendary beef with Jay-Z. And let me tell you, if you are not in the loop on this one, you are seriously missing out. Everyone is familiar with the Jay-Z-Nas feud, but the real drama was between Jay-Z and Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Prodigy wasn't the one to take a diss lightly while Jay was out here playing games, making the beef bigger for those album sales. But when things got real and Prodigy was actually ready to take it to the next level, Jay suddenly changed his tune, squashing the beef by saying it was just music and nothing personal. But for Prodigy, it was way more than that. He even accused Jay of being part of the Illuminati. And when you factor in the strange circumstances surrounding Prodigy's passing, especially since he was working on a musical about the Illuminati at the time of his death, you've got to wonder if this beef was really just about music or if there was something much deeper going on. Trust me, there is so much to unpack here, so let's just dive right in.
Jay-Z ain't had to say when it was on, and he was getting dissed. Him and Nas. Mobb Deep and Biggie were the only ones from New York active in that situation. So Jay-Z is a for making that quote in his lyrics.
So Prodigy's issues with Jay-Z can be traced back to 1998 when Jay-Z dropped his third studio album, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life. Jay dropped this line on the track with DMX, Money Cash Hoes, where he said, "It's like New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings." Jay-Z was referencing that infamous scene in the music video for Snoop Dogg's East Coast diss track, New York, New York, where Snoop, acting like a Godzilla-sized monster, goes on a rampage, kicking down landmarks and skyscrapers all around New York City. Now, even though Snoop Dogg is from Long Beach and not LA, he and Jay-Z have always been tight. But here's where it gets messy. Snoop had his own beef with Mobb Deep at the time. So when he dropped the video for New York, New York, stomping through the Big Apple, this was a clear shot at the East Coast, and by extension, Mobb Deep. This little stunt definitely added fuel to the fire between the coasts and made things even more intense. Of course, Mobb Deep didn't take that disrespect lightly, and they quickly clapped back with their own diss track, LA, LA, which most hip-hop fans thought was levels above New York, New York. So when Jay-Z dropped that line about New York being soft, Prodigy thought it was a sucker move because Mobb Deep and Biggie were the only ones who had the guts to stand up to Suge Knight and Death Row Records during the peak of the East Coast versus West Coast beef, while Jay-Z was dodging conflict and playing both sides.
An interview I did in The Source came out. I picked up a copy in the Chicago airport when we landed. The Source put me on the cover. My first magazine cover as a solo artist. In the interview, the writer, Shaheem Reed, asked about my problem with Jay-Z, referencing an online interview in which they asked if I like Jay-Z. No, he's a boy. He talking and don't live it, I said. I elaborated for the source. Jay-Z has a quote in his song, Money Cash Hoes, where he claims, New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. I'm trying to restore the feelings. But Jay was nowhere to be found when that drama popped off between Mobb Deep, Dog Pound, Tupac, and Biggie. That was our little personal beef, not a coastal war. Jay-Z ain't had to say when it was on, and he was getting dissed. Him and Nas. Mobb Deep and Biggie were the only ones from New York active in that situation. So Jay-Z is a for making that quote in his lyrics.
For a while, the beef between Jay and Prodigy simmered behind the scenes, but it all exploded into the spotlight when Jay-Z dropped the now iconic track, Takeover, on the Blueprint. Jay threw some serious shots at Prodigy, but things got even more heated at Summer Jam 2001 when Jay-Z humiliated Prodigy by putting up a childhood photo of him taking lessons in a dance studio. At Hot 97's annual Summer Jam Festival in June 2001, Jay performed an unfinished a cappella version of Takeover while sharing the stage with none other than Michael Michael Jackson.
Tell me about Summer Jam 2001.
Crazy. It's live. We the champions. You heard
Michael Jackson.
We live.
King of rap, the king of pop. Holla.
Turned out crazy. Big event, 20,000.
It's the Rocky.
Always. You heard? Holla.
Beanie.
We don't do much.
Summer Jam 2001, man. How was it for you, man?
We don't do much.
We right here. Big celebration as always, man.
We don't do much.
That's it. It's a wrap. We out here. Jigga Man. Brooklyn. Oh, yeah. Zab. Okay. Right here.
All day. It's just the beginning. It's about to be crazy.
Jay then pulled a bold move by putting up photos of young Prodigy taking dance lessons, and one even had him rocking that iconic Thriller leather jacket, just like the one MJ wore in the famous music video. Jay referenced the photos, rapping, "When I was pushing weight back in '88, you was a ballerina. I got them pictures, I seen ya. Then you dropped Shook Ones, switched your demeanor. Well, we don't believe you. You need more people."
I don't care if you Mobb Deep. I hold triggers the crew. You little I got money stacks bigger than you. When I was pushing weight back in '88, you was a ballerina. I got the picture. I seen you. Then you told Shook One, switching the meter. Well, we don't believe you. You need more people. Rockefeller, students of the game, we passed the class so nobody could read you dudes like we do. Don't let them gas you like you with your ass and won't get at you. Trust me on this one, I'll attack you. Mind from spirit, body from soul. You have to hold a man, put your body in. No, you not on my level, get your brakes tweaked. I saw what your whole first week. You guys don't want it with home. Ask Nas, he don't want it with home.
It was a clear attempt to embarrass Prodigy in front of the entire crowd, and it definitely turned up the heat on their feud. And obviously, P wasn't about to back down, and he was gearing up to check Jay's temperature. Fast forward to December 11, 2001, when Mobb Deep dropped their 5th studio album, Infamy, just 3 months after Jay-Z's The Blueprint, and they didn't hold back. The tracks Crawlin' and The Learning Burn were packed with shots aimed directly at Jay. Prodigy in particular came hard with the lines like, "You let me get my hands on you, so I'm taking advantage. And that ish you pulled ain't do me no damage. You don't know me, but we about to change that ish. Wrap that ninja up like a package." And the drama didn't stop there. The feud only heated up with more shots fired from both sides. Jay-Z kept the tension alive with his track Hovey Baby, while Mobb Deep clapped back on their America's Nightmare album and through various mixtape freestyles. But then the beef took a very interesting turn when Prodigy started talking about the Illuminati and alleging that Jay-Z made a deal with the higher-ups in the rumored secret society. So get this, back in 2007, while Prodigy was still behind bars, serving 3.5 years for illegal possession of a firearm, and just before he dropped HNIC Part 2, he shook things up by writing an open letter to Jay-Z that had everyone talking. In the letter, Prodigy made some cryptic claims hinting at the Illuminati theory. By the way, many believe Prodigy was the only one who really sparked the whole fascination with the Illuminati in hip-hop. And this wasn't the first time Prodigy had mentioned the secret society either. He'd been vocal about it throughout his career. He first rhymed about it way back in 1995 on the I Shot Ya remix with LL Cool J, where he raps, "Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep an eye on me, but I'ma stay incognito in places they can't find me. Make my moves strategically, the G.O.D. It's sort of similar, but iller than a chess player. I use my thinker. It coincides with my blinker." And then in 2008, Prodigy dropped the track titled Illuminati, where he says, "This is not a theory. The conspiracy is real. They want to put me in a straitjacket in a padded room and tell the world there's 12 monkeys so they can be confused." Prodigy kept the Illuminati talk going up until his final album, Hegelian Dialectic, The Book of Revelation, which came out on January 20th, 2017, exactly 5 months before Prodigy's death. And here's the wild part. Word on the street is that Prodigy was actually working on a full-on musical about his Illuminati theory at the time of his passing on June 20th, 2017. Now, Prodigy had been battling sickle cell disease for years, and when he passed away, everyone initially thought complications from the disease were to blame. But then the real cause of death came out, and the coroner's report stated that Prodigy accidentally choked while eating a boiled egg in the hospital. This revelation took everyone by surprise, and soon after, Prodigy's family filed a lawsuit against the Spring Valley Medical Center in Las Vegas. They accused the hospital of neglecting to keep a working IV accessible and failing to properly monitor his oxygen levels as the doctors had ordered. According to the family, these failures are what ultimately led to Prodigy's death. And as you can imagine, this sparked a wave of speculation and conspiracy theories, and fans started whispering that maybe someone had Prodigy silenced because he was getting too close to exposing the Illuminati. Now, going back to that open letter Prodigy wrote to Jay-Z from prison, he talked about how he had a moment of clarity one day in 1996 and realized that it's all a sham. Prodigy wrote, "The government, religions, politics, the Federal Reserve, IRS, and everything we believe and live by is a joke." And then he brought up Jay-Z, saying, "Jay-Z knows the truth, but he chose sides with the evil in order to be accepted in the corporate. Jay-Z conceals the truth from the black community and the world and promotes the lifestyle of the beast instead." Prodigy also promised to go after Jay relentlessly, saying, "I have so much fire in my heart that I will relentlessly attack Jay-Z, Illuminati, and every other evil that exists until my lights are put out, which is damn near impossible because my power in the streets is incredible. I fear nothing and no one. I'm fearless because the truth has set me free from the Illuminati mental enslavement, and I have been empowered by God and universe." Now, Prodigy later clarified that he didn't actually believe Jay-Z was part of the Illuminati, but he still insisted the Illuminati is a real thing.
I read some of your letters, man, because a lot of them hit the internet, man. One of the things you were talking about a lot while you were in prison was a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff, Illuminati stuff. Do you still believe that?
Yeah.
A lot of people, there's a lot of talk of Illuminati, like there's certain rappers in the Illuminati, Jay-Z, Kanye, and so. Do you believe that they're rappers in the Illuminati?
Nah.
You don't believe that? Okay. So how do you see sort of the role that these conspiracy theories play? Like how is the black community being controlled through that stuff?
Just through food, the environment, medication, branding. It's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of, you can go down the whole line. It's a whole web, network of things. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. You know what I mean? People are definitely being manipulated. You know what I mean? It's a business.
And what can you do as an artist? What can we do as media to change that?
We could, just be rebellious and speak about it.
Yeah.
Say something.
But see, this beef between Prodigy and Jay wasn't just talk. It led to some intense behind-the-scenes encounters where Prodigy showed up strapped, ready to take things to a whole new level. And apparently, Jay-Z had to back out of several major events, including the MTV Awards, the Source Magazine Awards, and even Viacom's BET, just to avoid running into Prodigy. In mid-2011, Prodigy told Hip Hop DX that he wanted to fight Jay-Z during a weekend he planned at P. Diddy's former restaurant, Justin's, shortly after Jay-Z pulled that stunt with Prodigy's childhood pictures. Prodigy told Hip Hop DX that when he got word that Jay-Z was chilling at Justin's restaurant, he and his crew of about 10 to 15 men decided to wait for him outside the spot. Prodigy said he and his boys surrounded the front door so Jay couldn't get out without seeing them. Jay eventually walked out with Jermaine Dupri, and according to Prodigy, as soon as Jermaine spotted them, he was out. Meanwhile, Jay approached Prodigy and his crew with 2 bodyguards to try to shake Prodigy's hand, telling him, "It ain't no beef, it's just music." Prodigy recalled that after Jay said that, he was like, "All right, cool, there ain't no beef. We can keep it just music." And I had thought about it real quick, cause I'm thinking about how I could just really overpower him right now with the security and all that. But that wasn't the end of the drama, and eventually things got so serious that Cormega had to step in and give Jay-Z a heads up. He told Jay that Prodigy wasn't playing around and was even more than willing to pull the trigger if it came down to it. This put Jay on edge, especially when he heard that E. Moneybags, a close friend of Tupac, was also looking for him. Now, it's not like Rockefeller didn't have their own crew ready to defend the throne, but Cormega made it clear, telling Jay-Z that Prodigy was a wild card, and if he felt provoked, he wouldn't hesitate to let shots fly. Meanwhile, Havoc, the other half of Mobb Deep, said he felt he inherited the beef with Jay from Prodigy, even though he personally didn't have any issues with Jay. And plus, Jay kept dissing Mobb Deep as a duo, not just Prodigy. So Havoc really had no other choice than to take P's side.
But at the same time, Prodigy, that's my brother, you know what I mean? I didn't really agree too much with him when he was beefing with Jay-Z, but at the same time, I'm not gonna go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hold it down with him. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. So it was his beef was mine. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if I would see Jay-Z, even if P wasn't dead, I would feel like I got beef with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know that, you know, I ain't say nothing, like, you know, the beef towards Jay-Z, you know, and I don't feel like, you know, whatever. But, and then there was a time when I did see Jay-Z and I was like, damn, I feel like I got beef with this dude. And I don't got
you
beef
inherited the beef, like, you know,
right,
vicariously
you know
through your
what I'm
man.
saying? That's what it is. So when Jay was ragging and tagging, you know, Mobb Deep, and if he would say, he wouldn't just say Prodigy, he would say Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I was in it whether I liked it or not. You know what I mean? And, you know, like I said, P, that's my brother. So if I agreed with it or not, I was like, you know what I mean? Behind the scenes, I might say like, matter of fact, I never told him to chill. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever.
You were like the best friend to have.
Now, eventually, the feud between Prodigy and Jay-Z simmered down, and years later, the two actually showed respect for each other and acknowledged their contributions to the culture. And after Prodigy passed away in 2017, Jay-Z shared that they actually squashed their beef back in 2012. During an interview with former 2XL editor-in-chief Elliot Wilson, Jay expressed he was deeply affected by Prodigy's death and said, "We spoke. Me and him spoke before he passed. I saw him in a club maybe 5 years ago. He just came over and we kicked it. It's just sad. Blessings to his family. It's sad. Young man." But you know how it is when it comes to Jay-Z and his beefs. Even when he's seemingly saying the right things, you always get a feeling he's not being genuine. Now, we can debate over whether Jay-Z was scared or smart to squash the beef with Prodigy, but to this day, Prodigy's fans are side-eyeing Jay, with some even going as far as to speculate that P's untimely death wasn't an accident. One fan said, "Taking his music in this direction is what got him killed. When celebrities start breaking the oath and telling the secrets, then they choke on an egg, die in a mysterious car wreck, drown in the bathtub as a whole adult, OD on drugs they never done in their life, or they stopped doing years ago, die after a routine doctor's visit, get shot in their car while they're out and about, etc. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Thank you for your courage enough to attempt to inform the world." And another fan added, "Man, go listen to the song Real Power is People, and you will know why he died." But what's your take on Prodigy's beef with Jay-Z, and how do you feel about this whole Illuminati theory and all the speculations surrounding Prodigy's suspicious death? Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below, and don't miss out on this next story.